of the
I
ocean.
should have brushed the brush in the air. Hey.
Can everybody see us?
Live Carol.
Oh, my line. Better take that bowl away then, yeah?
All good, all good, all good. Alrighty.
Spin this piece around. So
You better
when,
make sure you
when
can
I
see
drink,
the
we
bottom.
can.
Just let me get set up here.
I can't see.
Yeah. Just I had my glasses on the whole time. Focus again.
Oh, there we are. I can see that.
Yeah, that's too
Oh,
far
good.
away from me. So can I see it on my phone?
Okay, how we going, guys? Look, first of all, we'd like to thank everybody for coming along and supporting us. We really, really appreciate it. If you haven't got a beer yet, get it happening. We've all got our things all here. Yep, shameless plug. Shameless plug. We're all got the t-shirts, the whole lot on. It's all good. So, so that was the video. Evening, mate. How are you, Mr. Digby's? So we thought we'd start off by talking about you know what happened.
Possibly, like.
What happened? Can everybody hear us? By the way.
Thumbs up if you can hear us.
Hey guys, give us a tell us if you can hear us, please.
Great.
Yes, great audio, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so just wanted to first of all thank everybody for supporting us, come along for everything with the channel, all that sort of stuff. We really, really appreciate it. We really want to thank these guys behind us, Phil and Carol, who were a great help to us while we were up in Newcastle. It was an absolute mission up there. It was crazy, wasn't it? It was just nuts. To give you an idea, we had all our luggage and everything was on the bike, so we had no luggage. We had no clothes, which is where Roger and Rochelle came in. They, you know, they got everybody together and organised clothing for us and jocks and toothbrush, jocks and socks, snacks, all sorts of stuff. It was unbelievable. We're forever grateful to you guys and to all the guys that chipped in as well. I know Chewy and I can't remember everybody, but you know, if I get a chance, I'll put it all in the video and let you know. I know Phil and Carol drove, well, just to get a hire car at the last minute was nigh on impossible. They ended up finding one somewhere. We had to, it was a fair way away, and they basically rode the bike down to pick up the car. Carol drove a Land Cruiser back, which she'd never ever done that before. And yeah, you do find out who your friends are when crap happens. It was really good. Like, you know, they went and got us luggage, went and got us clothing, organised accommodation, and mind you, that was all on the bike. Which was it was a tough mission. It was a really tough mission. Like we said in the video, what's happened now is we just had physio today. Elaine's ankle ended up being broken in 5 places, and actually 6 places. There was a break at the top of her tibia as well, and both bones are broken in her arm, but she's well on the way to recovering. We think another 4 weeks in the boot. Then we go see the surgeon again, and then she can hopefully start walking after that, and then it's like physio for X amount of time. As far as the trip goes, we put through a list of things to talk about, and I guess I'm going to ask these guys as well what they thought. So first thing we brought up was accommodation. Favourite accommodation?
Favourite?
Coffs Harbour, I reckon.
Yeah, Coffs Harbour was good, but I must admit the dog boxes, they were interesting.
We said the same thing. The dog boxes at Quilpie, it was just that day was just really good fun. It was fun with it.
Last minute accommodation.
Yeah, like literally there were 2 freezer boxes with a couple of beds in them, and that was
$50 a night.
Yeah, that was the cheapest accommodation we had the whole trip. Was
Most comfortable beds.
it was the most comfortable bed I've had. They were unreal. The funniest
Funniest thing that we've done?
the funniest accommodation. Strangest.
Oh, Broken Hill.
I have to be, yeah.
Broken Hill.
For sure.
Honestly, the hotel at Broken Hill was absolutely fantastic. The highlight, yes, was seeing Pete. Scared the bejesus out of me. I turned around and there was Pete lingering behind me as we were eating at a cafe on the side of the road. That was freaky to see him. And it was awesome too for him to make that effort to come and see us. It was fantastic. How close was Phil to not crossing the creek?
He had no choice.
Everybody was close to not crossing the creek. I was the only nutcase. I said, "No, we'll be right. We'll be right."
When Paul walked out and he walked all the way up and all the way back, I was shitting myself because I knew we were going. And if he was going, I had to go. So it was all good in the end.
Tell your mum to ring her back, Chewy. We were. Look, the problem we had with that creek crossing was we'd ridden all day, and it was the end of the day, and the problem was I knew at that point we really didn't have a choice, because to go back to where we came from, it was like a 4.5 to 5 hour ride. Where we were literally in the middle of nowhere. There was just nothing there. So I thought, look, I'll at least walk it and see how dangerous it was. And trust me, it wasn't easy. It was dangerous. Like, that current was running very, very hard, very, very hard. It felt like the bikes were slipping. When I got just over the bridge, you'll see in the video, if you watch it, you'll see me go sideways. That's why we had the four-wheel drive trying to help us. They thought we weren't going to make it across. They were actually filming too. They wanted to win a car, basically. So they helped us get across there. When we got to there, it felt like we were going off the bridge. Now, if we went off the bridge, we were in big trouble, because we would have ended up in Eromanga somewhere, because it was absolutely hammering. To give you an idea, in 2 hours' time, that river was 1.5 meters deep. So that's how much water was coming down there. It was nuts. It was basically impassable after that happened. So it was pretty scary, I must admit. We were all high on adrenaline.
But how good was it when we made it?
It was the best. Yeah, it was the best feeling ever. How long have you guys been riding together as a four of us? Geez, so look, Phil and I, we've all been friends for 15 years. Yeah, so it's been quite a long time. What started us riding together more than anything, we were in Thailand, and we were riding around Thailand. Yeah. So that tells you how stupid we are. We're, riding around Thailand. Literally, we were riding in jungles and on scooters, and we were just nuts.
We should have had the drone.
We should have had the drone and the GoPro then. And we did some crazy stuff over there. And we were sitting in a pool one day, and I had a bike, and Phil had a bike. He had
R6.
An R6, which is not pillion friendly. Absolutely fact, Roger. Absolutely fact. And we decided then and there, listen, let's go. Phil decided he was going to get a Harley. Literally got back from the trip on the Monday, and he had a Harley by Tuesday.
Once I got the okay from her, that was it. I wasn't going to get her to change her mind.
Can you recommend any good rain gear? Well, we have what's it called?
Dry Rider.
Dry Rider.
We got Dry Rider.
Yeah, Dry Rider was good. To be honest, my leather jacket, I put like a waterproof coating on it before I left home, and I wore my leather jacket the whole time. The only time I really, really got wet was why is Phil buying a batwing? I don't think he is.
What's that?
Why is Phil now going to buy a batwing bike?
I'm not.
It actually didn't get wet until the last day.
How long did it take to plan for your recent trip?
We don't plan. We just go. Literally, I said to Phil, "Come on, let's go." He was nutty enough to have faith in me and said, "Yep, all right, fuck it, let's go."
Totally out of my wheelhouse, because I'm the most organised person around. So.
Yeah. So Phil's an engineer by trade, so normally very organised and very planning. And I am completely the polar opposite. I fly by the seat of my pants in everything I do. So we decided we were just going, and off we went. We did not book one piece of accommodation. We did not book. We didn't book the route. We didn't plan anything. We just basically headed.
What was the damage to the bike?
The damage to the bike. Well, the bike's been written off. There was damage to the frame. The frame was twisted. The handlebars were twisted. The front batwing fairing scraped along the road, so it was cactus. The tour pack was broken off as well, cracked and broken off. There was a lot of damage. Also the exhaust was pushed in. There was quite a bit of damage. You couldn't see much damage on the car. All the damage was underneath the car because she ran over the top of the bike. So the car was pouring out coolant and oil and all sorts of stuff underneath it. But the actual bike was pretty stuffed.
Do you guys ever take camping gear on your bikes?
No,
No. Sleep in tents? No.
We need to have a bit of luxury, don't we?
Yeah.
I need a shower, a toilet.
Motels and dog boxes.
Yeah, motels and dog boxes for us. Our accommodation, we basically budget on about $100 a night. Sometimes it was 150, sometimes it was less. G'day, Harley Day Rider from the USA. How are you, mate? Great to have you in, Jack. Really appreciate you turning up. So we just budgeted on $100 a night. If it was more, it was more. If it was less, it was less. We didn't want to look. At the end of the day, we can afford to have good. We can afford any accommodation we like, but we just wanted to, not be too over the top and just basically go where we went. We stayed at plenty of caravan parks and cabins and all that sort of stuff. It's a great way to travel. A great way to travel. I refuse to pay a fortune to live like a homeless person. Yes, exactly. Like I said, the planning was negligible. We knew we just wanted to go in a certain direction. We knew we wanted to see certain things, and it was fantastic. That hotel we stayed at Broken Hill, I think, cost us $50 a night.
Yes.
$50 a night. I reckon we overpaid. But it was a fun time to stay. It was good fun. It was really good.
We were more worried about the bikes because the bikes were out in the street.
Yeah, that's what we were worried about. But as far as everything else, it was a fun place to stay at, and a really good restaurant actually.
Yeah.
Even though I was checking the bikes every 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
You had no idea at night.
The most expensive place we stayed at, funnily enough, was at a place called Cunnamulla.
The caravan park.
Which is a caravan park. We stayed at a cabin there. I think it cost us like $167 for the night.
Nothing flat.
On a monkey bike.
On a monkey bike. Holy hell. I might do it on a postie bike.
I still won't touch the floor.
What's the next bike? Well, I've already bought another bike. I'm not going to announce it just yet because I want it to be a bit of a surprise. But let's just say
It's black.
Yeah, it's black. I've ordered a whole heap of mods for it. I'm doing bars, suspension, cam, exhaust,
and I'll be on the back of it.
Seating, all sorts of. I'm doing the whole lot. It'll be spec'd up for touring, and it'll have plenty of power. Let's just say that. Any issues with the dirt and sand in your drive belts? No issues at all. Let me tell you something. Harley Davidson's one of the best bikes you'll ever have for touring on it. We rode on the most outback of outback. Like some of the roads we didn't even show you that we rode on because you almost couldn't film because it was that rough. Was it not, Phil?
Yeah.
It was hard to film.
Some of the ruts that we went in.
Yeah, some of the ruts, and we did lots of creek crossings and lots of stuff. The Harleys performed perfectly. At the end of the trip, we didn't have a loose bolt. Nothing. The only thing,
It's just the suspension.
the suspension cocked up on me, which wasn't that wasn't the bike's fault. That was just a flaw in the suspension setup. But honest to God, if you're thinking about doing it, don't think, do. Trust me, it is the best thing you'll ever do. What suspension do you have on the bike? I've ordered Legend Air A to the back, which is the automatic, and the front I've gone Axio, which is a great. I had it on the last bike, and honestly, the traveling on the roads that we travelled, it absolutely pounded that suspension. We were doing stuff like chasing sheep and stuff on those bikes. Those bikes should not really made for that, but they had no problem coping with that sort of stuff. Phil is running standard suspension, correct?
Yeah, just stock standard.
Look, the Fat Boy was fantastic.
Yeah.
A lot of people have commented, how'd you go with the Fat Boy? Mate, listen, it's all... The bikes, if you set the bike up for it, they are fine, are they not?
before the trip, I was debating about getting a windshield. You know, everyone's telling me get a windshield. You know, but the thing is, I never had one before, so I didn't know anything.
Don't have you got maps?
Didn't know anything better. So
If you got a full map.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
we did the 5,000 Ks or 5,500 Ks or whatever without a shield, and to be honest, I didn't feel anything different. It's just maybe 1 or 2 days where it was pretty windy, where you know you sort of felt it a little bit, but you know, other than that, I had no what can I say, no wind, you know, hitting me or nothing. But you feel the elements, and it was good. You know, I mean, you were part of the road and part of everything, and you just feel it how you would normally feel it.
One thing I must say, Phil said he had no wind. Trust me, there was a couple of days there with plenty of wind coming out of Phil, let me tell you. Both of us.
Most days,
Yeah, poor Carol was behind him. She was nearly going to hook him up and go to gas.
So because you got a fatty or you haven't got a proper tourer, don't sell yourself short. No. You can still do these rides. Just got to plan it and just go within your limitations. I mean, the biggest kilometres we did is 700 Ks in a day. That was when we were coming home. That was from Newcastle to Albury. We just wanted to get home ASAP because there was some bad weather coming. Other than that, we had a 500-600 K ride. Most of the rides were around the 400 Ks. No problems. Stop enough and you'll be right. The only thing I did do that was good was to reupholster my seats. Seats, they were comfortable. We never had a sore ass or anything like that. And a full face helmet. Yep. That was the other thing.
One thing I will tell you guys is if you're going to tour, set your bike up to tour. And that means don't worry about looks, go for comfort. It's the best wing, It's the best thing you can do. Like I said, we both had, I've got a Saddleman road sofa, which I had done as well. And it's got gel padding in there. They were fantastic. If you think about doing your bars, I would definitely do bars. The 14-inch bars made a big difference for me, especially if you're tall. And I put forward the floorboards as well, which makes a big difference. Highway pegs, definitely have highway pegs. Huge, makes a huge difference. As far as
and please, everybody, wear all the proper gear.
Yeah, wear the proper gear. Like honestly, like we are living proof. Like how much we got pushed down the road. We had proper jeans on, proper jackets, helmet, the whole lot. Honestly, we didn't have one scratch on us. There was a little graze on my knee, a little graze on Elaine's knee, and for as hard as we hit and went down, no problem.
I've got no memory of it at all, so that's how hard I hit, but lucky I had the proper gear on.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Are you looking forward to a fixed fairing on your new bike? That's a very, very tricky question there, Pete, but I'm not answering it. You're trying to be too smart, Pete. You're trying to be too smart. One thing I will tell you is when you're out in the outback, when you get the chance to fill up with fuel, fill up with fuel. Yes. Just get it. Don't think,
even if you're 100 Ks down the road, do it. Just do it. Just constantly fill up because you don't
know
when the next one is or when the next servo's shut.
No, because we went from Mildura to Broken Hill. The seat wasn't damaged. That was one thing that wasn't damaged on the bike. I actually took it off. I've actually got the seat still. We went from Mildura to Broken Hill, and there was supposed to be fuel halfway, and they were closed. And I know somebody else who went that way, one of the other YouTubers, and got stuck at the same place. So always fill up. And do not travel after around dusk. It's not, when you get out there, trust me, it is no joke. We did the outback flies drove crazy. There were no flies whatsoever.
Not one fly. Heaps of goats.
I've never seen so many goats in all my life.
Didn't see any kangaroos.
Yeah, emus, wild pigs. We saw wild pigs. We saw wild cattle, wild horses. And believe me, lots of. When they're running across the road, you want to make sure you pull up because there was a point there. 2 emus come across the road, and Eli and I were in front, and we literally went between the two of them, and somehow missed them. I don't know how, but you hit one of those at 100 k's an hour, you're going to know about it.
Not as bad as getting hit by an old lady.
One goat, yeah, not as bad as getting hit by an old lady. I forgot to warn you about the goats. Yeah, thanks, Pete.
I think George.
George Capitan's watching.
Oh, George Capitan's watching.
Says hi,
Hi, George.
Georgie.
Did you ride at night? No, mate, we didn't ride at night. Honestly, it's too dangerous out there. It's Fletch. It's when you get out there, mate. It's just a different world. And please, guys, if you get, I know Fletch, you're in Singapore, so it makes it a bit harder. But if you get a chance to come across, mate, I'll take you. But please, if you get a chance, get off the couch and get out in the outback. It is the most special place, a thing you'll ever do. It is unbelievable out there. We were lucky enough to stay on a cattle station, which was mind-blowing.
Goats are good eating. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are good eating, yeah.
I had Rogan Josh.
Rogan Josh. If you get the chance, guys, don't think about it, just do it. And I don't know if Bodine52 is watching. He's talking about going across the country in America. Like I told your brother, get off your bum and go and do it. Don't think about it.
How did Carol and Phil cope watching it happen in front of them?
Oh, didn't cope.
Well, it was pretty tough because the last thing I wanted to do was film. Last thing I wanted to do was, you know, the show was over for us. We just wanted to look after our friends, but stubborn Paul over here, you know, he just wanted to keep it going. So it was pretty hard for us because, you know, I mean, they're only 5-10 meters in front of us, and it could have happened to us as well, you know, and they were our friends, and we actually didn't know what was going on because I was looking, you know, left and right, you know, for the roundabout, and all I could do was just hear them on my talkback, you know, and they were just screaming, and it was just, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Then when I looked straight ahead, I just could see the bike falling over and people going arms and legs everywhere, and I thought, what the hell was going on, you know? I couldn't make heads and tails of what was going on, so... you know, at that time, you know, you just can't you can't get emotional. You just got to do what you have to do to
help them out.
Because if you sit there and just, you know, cry about it, you just sort of can't, you know. You got to do that later. So, you know, we had to make sure they got in the, you know, with the ambulance and they were okay. They got looked after. Then we had to get the bike. We had to go get the luggage. We had to try to find accommodation, all that kind of stuff. But once that was all done, then we sort of sat down that night and had a couple of drinks, and you think, well, what the hell just happened, you know? So yeah, no, it was weird. Yeah, I just wish it never happened.
The cattle station was called Why Not? Mick and Louise out there. Look, they don't do farm stage methods. They're actually friends of ours. I've known them for a long time, and that they are. How good were they? Mick and Louise. They are the nicest people you'd ever met in your life. I'd love to be able to take you guys.
I love chicken schnitzel.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to take you guys out there.
No, I know they didn't. I like my hard seat.
I think Matt asked me who's doing the bike build. Romy actually introduced me to Harley Heaven, to Theo. So Harley Heaven in Melbourne has come on board and helping me out with the whole bike build, everything. They've been fantastic. And they're really, you know, we're filming the whole build. I actually had Romy in the car with me today. He came down from Queensland. He had to do some work down here in Melbourne, so I was actually talking to him today about it all, and he's flown back up to Cairns now. But I miss him dearly.
Pastizi's in the outback, which is noodles.
No
pastizi
there. We tried to make Argene, but they didn't like it. Yeah. Who's that said that?
That was Darren.
Oh, is that?
One thing where there was plenty of bakeries, and one thing that I'm spewing on is Elaine's sole job on that trip was to film bakeries. That didn't happen because she was too busy frigging eating the stuff at the bakeries rather than filming. And we'd come to the end of every bakery. How'd you go with that? Oh, I forgot to film. It was
thinking about filming when you've got all these pies and.
I've never seen anybody get so ravenous over food. Like she would be. Oh, I've got to eat. She gets hangry, and.
I'm not far behind you. Right?
Yeah, Phil's not far behind. And I tried to be good. I was trying to be good, but these two are the worst. freaking
Typical Maltese.
bloody influence you've ever, I'm going to have something healthy today. Oh, we're going to have a pie. And they'd be sitting there ordering pies, Danishes,
Custard tart.
I'm on holidays.
and it was a nightmare. The suspension I'm going for is Legend Air A at the back and the Axia at the front. I had them on the last one, and they were great. Pasties are awesome. The best one we had was actually Kyneton, Country Club. They are.
It was nice.
They're awesome. Highlights of the trip. What was your highlight?
Had to be the river crossing for me.
Yeah.
That was so out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was, but we did it, and when we did it, it was just the best. Had a beer with the boys, and it was just.
And can I say, those guys that helped us across that river, they were bloody legends. They were awesome.
Yeah.
That was as bad as Aussie as you could get.
Yeah.
Carol, your highlight?
I would say the river as well.
Yeah.
It was nerve-wracking, but once Paul, like we said, got across and we thought, shit, we're next. And we did it.
Yeah, no.
And we all made it, so yeah.
Your
that was
highlight?
good.
Quilpie, the sheep station. I loved it.
Yeah. My highlight, what was my highlight? I think probably crossing the river. To be honest, my highlight was watching Phil cross the river. Because I knew that was so far away from anything he would ever do in his life. And I was actually wrapped for him because that sort of stuff I've done a lot of that stuff in my life, and Phil knows I have because some of he's been with, and
Never done
and
it.
Phil's just not like that.
And I love my bike.
Yeah, Phil rode home, and Phil loves his bike.
Clean my bike all the time.
But I tell you what, if we were by ourselves, you wouldn't have
I
done it.
wouldn't have done
You
it.
wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, so that was my highlight.
One other highlight was the riding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just love to ride every day.
Yeah.
You know, being able to just ride every day
Especially in the rain.
on roads where
Oh yeah, getting soaking wet.
no, on roads, especially the outback, on roads that
Yeah.
no one was there. We were the only ones there. Didn't see anyone for hours. It was just the best.
Somebody asked about the route. I'm actually going to put I'll actually put another video up which will show you the whole route, where we stayed, all that sort of stuff. We went so many different directions because of the other problem we had was there was a massive amount of rain at the time we were doing this whole trip. And Pete, if Pete's still there, he will testify to this because he got stuck in a lot of it as well, coming from Burke to Broken Hill, and he thought he got stuck in all that rain as well. So we had to we kept changing our route to try and avoid the worst of the weather, because it wasn't just rain. The thing about the outback is there's a lot of floodplains out there, right? It's very, very flat, and the water comes up really quickly. So you could go from 0 to 1 metre deep in 3 hours. So we were constantly, and it made it hard. We were constantly changing direction, changing ways to go, waiting a bit longer to let a massive rain band pass. We were doing all sorts of stuff, so it was almost impossible to plan a route. However, I will put the actual route we came up with in the end. Actually, one of my highlights was going to a place called Yower. There's a place called Yower which is between Cunnamulla and Quilpie. If you get a chance to go out there, that's really interesting out there because it's all a big mining open mining town. That was pretty good out there too. The best meal at a pub? Best meal the whole way?
Oh, we had a few lamb cutlets in it. I didn't mind the old lamb cutlets, and I think the worst one was that hot dog I had.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was disgusting.
That was disgusting.
No, the pizza was alright.
I reckon the best one we went to was the Royal Hotel in Sea Lake.
Yes.
Yeah, we had the lamb cutlets.
We had lamb cutlets there. That was, if you've never been to Sea Lake, I'd sort of been through Sea Lake, but I never stopped there. We went to the pub there in Sea Lake, and we walked in, and there was literally nobody there. This was at 6 o'clock, and the bloke said, "Oh, are you able to finish eating by 6:30?" And I looked at him and I looked around the pub and thought, "What are you talking about? There's nobody here." And he said, "Oh, we're booked out." And I'm thinking, this guy's kidding himself, right? literally by 6:30 they were booked out. It was chock-a-block. People came from everywhere, and we know why, because the food was
Beautiful. I had the fish.
yeah, that's right. I tried to talk Elaine out of the fish. They don't have fish here. We're in the middle of nowhere. The fish would be shocking, but it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I had crumb cutlets. I think Phil had the crumb cutlets, and they were sensational. So if you ever go to Sea Lake, the Royal Hotel on the corner, it is sensational.
Yeah, beautiful.
Favourite place on the trip?
Quilpie for me.
Quilpie?
Place.
Out in the sheep station.
Because I liked it all.
Yeah.
You know, everything was an adventure. I've never been to any of those places. I've been to Quilpie once, but in a different area.
Yeah.
And been to Mildura, obviously, but never been to Broken Hill. All those places, never been there. Worst place was Byron Bay. But,
Yeah, I did like Byron Bay.
But
Yep. Unfortunately, Byron Bay, I think, is
Overrated.
grossly overrated. It used to be good. Ella and I were there, geez, a while ago now, a long time ago, and it was beautiful.
Too crowded.
But too crowded, too many. Coggy's mum grew up in Sea Lake. Really? Oh, it's an awesome spot. It was just, I don't know, just too many people trying to be something that they're not. It was honestly embarrassing. Longest day ride of the trip. I think the longest day ride was from Quilpie to Roma.
Roma, yeah,
Yeah,
that was
cool.
about 550.
Yeah, something like, but
We did 700, but that was going from Newcastle straight to
That was
Albury.
after the accident.
That was after the accident. We just hightailing.
the thing with it was the way we were riding, because, and Roger, you'll know this because I know you asked that question. When you're filming, it takes a lot longer because you're constantly setting up shots and you're stopping and you're putting the drone up and you're basically on the road all day. Like it really takes. Now even Phil and Carol were surprised. I think a lot of the times was to how much you're out.
You think, hold on, it's 5 o'clock at night. We've only done 300 k's or something.
Yeah, but you really spend a lot of time filming and making sure you're getting the shots.
Plus a few pit stops here and there.
Yeah.
You know?
How often do you stop for the ladies and stretch? We try to do it every 100, 120 Ks, 150 Ks, sometimes longer, but around about that mark we sort of stopped. It was perfect, yeah.
10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it takes nothing.
Stretch your legs, you're back, you're good for another 100.
Riding in the outback is so much easier than riding Vic. You can double the. Yeah, it is really.
You shoot up the Ks.
Yeah, you can chew them up quickly, and some days it's just the weather out there is beautiful, and it's just easy to ride. What was that one? Did you ever take a few days off? No, we didn't. We didn't take any days off to relax. We had one.
We had forced ones.
Yeah, we had forced ones because it was absolutely pouring rain, and we actually couldn't ride. It was just too dangerous. Again, like I'll say, it's not like. As you can see, we rode in the rain along the coast, no problem at all, because the roads were good.
Did you come across any followers or other riders that were surprised to meet along the way?
Yes, we did. But in the outback, because it floods so badly, there's some days you just can't ride. It's too dangerous. It's just bad. And I know again, Pete from Pete's Life, he got stuck a couple of times, and it was tough. What was that question?
Did you meet any followers?
Yeah, we did. We were.
Pete.
Yeah, we saw Pete.
And the other guy, the bakery?
Yeah, we were in Chinchilla. We're in Chinchilla.
Yeah, we were too.
We're in Chinchilla, and we were about to.
Beautiful pies there, by the way.
Yeah, Elaine's pie. Another one she was supposed to film and didn't do it. And I was standing there. We were standing there talking to each other, and this guy came up to us and he goes, "How was the ride from Quilpie?" And I looked at him and I thought, "How the hell do you know I just came from Quilpie?" I thought, "What, did he follow us?" And he goes, "I've been following the whole ride," and I could not believe it. Like Chinchilla is, not the
in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, sort of not really out. It's sort of a town on the way through, and where we were as well we were in the sort of guts of Chinchilla, so that was pretty cool. What was your most important item you packed for the trip?
Noodles.
Besides the noodles. The most important item I packed for the trip. Thermals.
Weather gear.
Yeah, for me it was thermals.
I've never had thermals.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, my thermals, I wore them every day.
Yeah, so especially coming from Victoria going all up through Mildura to Broken Hill, some mornings it was bloody cold, like really
Why
cold.
is George sending me the message through text?
It probably
He's probably
got
not on YouTube.
yeah. So that's that for me. It was thermals, and the other thing that was that I thought was really important was for us was we had spare gloves and stuff, which when they got wet, it helped a lot. I reckon a spare pair of gloves, especially if you got weather. And look, no time did I think we were going to get that much rain. That I can't tell you how much rain we had. It was honestly getting to the ridiculous stage.
Plastic bags were good too.
Most important, spare fob. Yeah, no, I've never had a spare fob. Although I have been caught without the fob once before, as you probably know.
My battery ran out.
Yeah, Phil's battery ran out. Yep, so we had to change that. Where was the dearest fuel? Dearest fuel was in Eromanga. I think it was $2.
20 something?
Nah, it was more. It was $2.67.
Oh, that's when I went on that automatic.
Yeah, I think it was $2.67 or $2.80, something like a litre. It was there, and the other place was it was in New South Wales.
Pete, we don't need a spare fob if you've got a pin.
I can't remember the name of the joint now, but it was what was the name of it? Starts with C. I can't think. Anyway, it was expensive there as well. I was actually surprised it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be. I know around Alice Springs at the moment it's like $3.20, I think it was, which is nuts. Key piece of advice.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just do it.
Don't think about
You
it.
know, prepare as much. You're never gonna have enough clothes, so just take what you're always gonna wear your favourite stuff every day. So just take bare minimum clothes. Have maybe some small tools, just enough to tighten up some stuff. Other than that, just don't be frightened to do it. Like this whole trip was totally out of my comfort zone, and we just took off. And you know what? Every day we did it, we just got freer and freer every day. And we weren't worried about stuff. And I'm a warrior, you know. I'm going to get accommodation. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. And you know what? We always did. We got accommodation. We got somewhere to stay. Someone always helped us. We helped other people, and it just went around. So for us, it's just, if you think of somewhere to go, just do it. Don't overthink it.
Don't limit yourself.
Yep. My key piece of advice is this: especially if you go on a Harley. I know a lot of the people that follow us are on Harleys. The bike will handle it. The bike will handle it. Jack, I know you just did a trip where you went off road, which I was actually proud of you, mate, because I know you were sort of a bit worried about it. But that's Jack in America there at the Harley Day Rider. But as long as you ride within your limitations, don't go nuts. The bike will handle it. You will handle it. Don't panic. You'll have fun. Somebody asked me, are we ever going to go to Perth? We are absolutely coming to
We're
Perth.
doing the Nullarbor for sure.
We are doing the Nullarbor. We are coming across.
Yeah.
We are absolutely doing the Nullarbor. I think Harley Throttle Juice are talking about coming as well. I know Rochelle definitely wants to come. I'd love you guys to come. Thanks, Jack. And it is absolutely something we're going to do. Another trip we're going to do, and we're just letting you in a little secret here of what it's watching. We are talking about maybe taking the train up to Darwin. So we'll film all that on the GAN, and then we'll ride back, which will be a pretty spectacular ride as well. And the other one we're going to do is we're going to ride from here through Cooperative, Ayers Rock, the Olgas, and Ella and I are talking about, depending on what Phil and Carol want to do, we might even keep going and go all the way up to Kununurra and across the Gibb River and do all that up there. That'll be a great ride as well. Paul, only if we book motels in advance.
That's what I said.
Come on, embrace the adventure. That's a couple going across there. We might have to book in advance because it gets a bit sketchy out there. Carol, key advice? Any advice you got to people? about clothing or maybe...
Just don't take too much clothing to say, I took too much and I didn't wear it.
Yeah.
Elon,
So, yeah.
advice? Try not to get hit by old ladies. That's one bit of advice. Look, on what Carol just said now, Elon and I took 3 t-shirts each, 1 spare pair of jeans each.
You don't need much.
Jocks and socks,
You
and
can
that was
always
it.
wash them
Yep.
or buy.
We sort of washed once a week.
And you always wear your favourite gear
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, and
you just wear it.
And you just hang around the smelly people anyway. The same
One
smelly
good thing that we also had was the communication. You know, that kept us going for hours.
Of course you can.
While we're talking, you know, we can talk to each other.
Yes. You talk about the headsets?
Yeah. Talk pack talk.
Yeah, if you're going to go, we had the Cardo Pack Talk, and they were fantastic. Especially, I think we had about a kilometre and a half range with those.
Something like that. Yeah.
And it really helped, like if there was something dangerous on the road or
to let someone know. Yeah.
road trains coming. One thing I will tell you guys, if you're going to go out in the outback, be careful of road trains. Those things, they cannot stop. And when I say a road train, I'm talking, you know, a big tractor at the front and shut up, Whitey, you fool. And they'll have 3 to 4 trailers at the back, and when they are hammering through, they are really hammering. You've got to be careful. Come stay at the Geringin Roadhouse north of Broome. I would love to. Is that Outback Outlaw?
Yes.
Yes, Outback. I'd love to come over there, mate. I would love to come where you are. If you could make that happen for us, I will love you forever. I would love to see your culture. I would love to see you show me that stuff. That would be absolutely
Just give
awesome.
us a few more months till I recover.
Yeah, mate. If you could do that, I would love you forever. Honest to God,
And so would I.
there's nothing interests me more than your culture. One thing I was spewing on is the farm we stayed on had a lot of Indigenous art on there, and we never got to see it because we had to leave because the rain was coming in. And it's one thing I really enjoy.
At Rock Biber, we did ride back. Carol and I, once Paul and Elaine got on the plane, we rode back from Newcastle straight to Albury. That's about 700 k's, and from Albury back home, which was about another 3.5 hour drive. And we had to beat the weather because there was 2 days of rain coming straight after that. We were supposed to stop in Canberra, but we didn't do that. We just kept on going home. So, but we did.
It was, but going back to Outback Outlaw and coming across, mate, I'd love that. Roger and Rochelle, we'd love you to come along. I know we'd love to go. I don't know, Whitey, if you'd be interested as well, but we would love to do a trip across the Nullarbor. It would be absolutely awesome. I'd love to get that. I'd love to get out to the Great Australian Bight there and put the drone up and all that sort of stuff. And I just think it'd be absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. What else is there? Anybody else got any more questions? Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up shortly. We're in? Okay, beautiful. Let's make it happen.
Do you need accommodation in Perth?
Eventually we will, eventually we will. We'll definitely need accommodation. Lock it in. Drone was over the Nullarbor. Yes, absolutely be fantastic putting that drone over the Nullarbor. Be absolutely awesome. Guys, once again, we'd love to. I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We're going to wrap it up. It's nearly 45 minutes.
Thanks, guys.
We really appreciate it. Please stay in touch with the channel. We honestly read every message. I think I'll get back to every message. Thanks to these guys. They were legends for us.
Get the merch.
Thanks to everybody that came and supported us when we were up in hospital. We really appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that watched the. Thank you. Thanks to everybody that watched the series. We hope you liked it. We love filming it and love getting it to you. And
I'll be back.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
And yeah, mate, I'm actually getting emotional now talking about it because for me it was honestly the support we had was mind blowing, and and I can't thank you all enough, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thanks very much. We'll catch you next
Thank you
time,
very much.
and peace out, guys. See you later.
See ya.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.